Hey, happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back to the Doe Monica weekly news aggregate, where I cover three general topics that I want to make sure you guys see in case you missed it, might have gone under the radar. And tonight we're going to talk about, not tonight, today we're going to talk about three stories. First of all, Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib had a meltdown. We'll cover that. Then we'll move on to actually some good news because a lot of people are doxing ICE agents. And guess what? They're having consequences to that. So we'll move next to that. And then actually, some things are happening. Antifa getting directly involved and blocking ICE agents doing their actual jobs. So, as the chat pours in, we'll give it a couple of minutes. As the chat pours in, please do come and say hello. Tell me where you're from, and we'll get the conversation started. One thing I do want to say before we get going is that, we're going to have civil discourse. This is about conversation. And if anybody is going to be, rude, there's some things that we just won't tolerate, and I will just bump you out. But I want to have a nice conversation and get going with that. So we'll give it a minute as the chat piles, the people start to get populated in the chat. We've got four. Please say hello. Let me know where you're from. And by the way, would love you to like and subscribe. Super chats, I will put you up on the stage, and we will be prioritizing those. So welcome back. And as we wait for everybody to pour in, we've got 15 in the chat. The Bears are playing tonight, everybody. It's freezing in Chicago. I don't know what I think. We can maybe cover some of the Bears and the fun stuff for the NFL. As we go forward. Now, as always, I like to start the broadcast by covering the immediate story, and then we stop for chats, stop for discussion, and get everybody in there and involved, and then we move forward. So welcome. Please say hello. Let me know where you're from, and we'll start with the first story, which is really their plan, Democrats' plan of, making ICE and this whole deportation, mass deportation that we all voted for, just the big bad, monster, is really not working. So we're gonna bounce into it with some coverage from Steve Bannon just the other day on his show. So let me kind of get that rolling and get that pulled up. And as I'm doing that, all right, here we go. Share that. Just want to go to one thing and make sure I've got the right layout. Okay. Let me go back and we'll look at that and then have some comments. Ready?
She's the assistant secretary there on human events. She said, look, they're still offering to pay for the plane ticket. Take the plane ticket. You don't need a raid. Just go home.
Let me play. So I want, and teeing this up, we play in the cold open. These are federal officials. These are members of Congress and other federal officials in an all-day hearing in St. Paul today. If you had watched it, your head would have blown up. Let's just play a clip on what the reaction of Jack Posobiec.
Use images like this. You can't see this to the directors. Come on, ask you. It says invasion here. It says America needs you to join ICE now. Look at this image. Who do you think they're trying? How about Director Mayhel, Gonzalez Avalos, and Director Hussein? Who do you think they're trying to recruit for ICE right now?
White supremacists.
Okay, how about you, Director May? What do you think this evokes? Who do you think wants to join this? What does this mean?
I mean, it's absolutely terrifying, right? The accountability, the training, who is coming towards that, who's going to want to join that. And I think it is an absolute product of the $170 billion that they are looking to spend and fill and use. And as they ask for more money now, they really needs to be restrictions on how all of this is done.
We'll have a home again. Like, this is, Patty, look at this. We'll have our home again. What does that evoke in you when you see this? It literally, when I see it as a Muslimah, as a Palestinian, as a child of immigrants.
By the way, is Muslima, that's a new term. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that term, but that's kind of a new term for me. She says some key things as we're going to, keep going forward with this, and we'll comment, play a little bit more of the clip, and then we'll comment and see who's all in the chat. Okay.
Friends, I see that this is something that is evoking, like, I'm not welcome here. It is very clear what is intentionally happening here, and I think I want my colleagues to know this. In Southwest Detroit, where I was born and raised, we've been complaining about ICE since 2010, even since its inception. The fact that we had...
I've heard enough. Jack Posobiec, the kind of the Uncle Sam takeoffs to recruit, and they've had, I think, 50,000 recruits. They had hundreds of thousands. I think they took 50 or 60 because they've had so many people sign up. Omar's group doesn't like that. They think they're not welcome. They think it's white supremacy. They have to go to race right away, right? Because they're losing, as you said the other day, we've shattered the narrative. So now they got to go to a backup narrative. It's all white supremacists. It's all white. So walk through. Why have they shifted now to the white supremacists?
Well,
okay, before we get to Jack's take, I want to see who's in the chat. Please say hello. And let me know where you're from. And as we move forward, we will open up the discussion. But they are losing the narrative. They're doing all of this because they're trying to keep everything off of all of the fraud that is going on in Minneapolis. So that is key as we go forward and think about that. And I really do like Jack's breakdown here. And so let's get back to that. And please say hello, where you're from. It's very cold in Chicago. Bears have to play today. Oh my God. Ready? Here we go.
Well, I want to go.
Well, normally when you go there, you've already lost. Go ahead.
The bigger piece is go and look, because nobody's talking about it anymore. What's the dog that's not barking? When you hear Rashida Tlaib, when you hear Omar up there, what's the dog that's not barking? The dog that's not barking is they stopped talking about Renee Good. They stopped talking about Becca Good. They stopped talking about Jonathan Ross, which, by the way, if you go up on Jonathan Ross's fundraisers right now, you put the two together, guess what? Today, he just crossed the 1 million mark. So MAGA, the American people, just raised over $1 million for an ICE officer who was nearly killed when he was run over by an anti-ICE agitator. They completely lost the narrative there. They completely lost what they were going on. They know that the American people actually, they might not admit it to a pollster, but you know what? Deep down, the American people love these raids. The American people can't get enough of them because for a long time.
You know what? I think what Jack says here is actually so key because, yes, they are losing the narrative. This is so very different from 5 years ago and the George Floyd, all of that, what unfolded after the George Floyd incident and how they were able to. We weren't ready, I guess, at the time. I don't think any of us really thought that something like this would happen. But guess what? We're onto their playbook. It's not working. And that's why they're having the meltdown. And the dog that's not barking is we're really not hearing that much about Renee Good. I mean, you had the police superintendent in Chicago, where I live, Larry Snelling, I think that's his name. Forgive me if I got it wrong, but he comes out and says, very, very clearly to the city of Chicago that it was reasonable and those federal officers and the agent, Jonathan Ross, it was very reasonable for him to think that his life was in danger. So Chicago got kind of very clear clarity on the whole situation, and it is not playing out the way they thought. And so you're seeing this meltdown, and we're going to keep going with what Jack has to say, and then we'll hear from Ilhan Omar, which she's got some interesting things to say as well. Then we'll get to the chat for some discussion. So welcome, say hello, and let's keep it going, and then we'll get back to the discussion or kick off the discussion for this Sunday.
They said, you know what? I don't want those people in my house anymore, in my country anymore, in my home anymore. I want to get rid of them. I don't want them around my family. I don't want them around my children. I don't want them in my neighborhood. The good people of Minneapolis don't want them there. And you know what? If it's going to be a little rough, if it's going to take a little rough.
You're not going to believe.
Let me just move this forward. Sorry about that, guys.
Does to your hair. I've seen
stuff to get him out, then so be it. But the other piece of this, Steve, by the way, Rashida Tlaib, you notice what she said? She said, listen, me as a Muslima, me as an immigrant, me as a Palestinian. I noticed she didn't say as an American. I noticed she didn't say as an American citizen whose family was graciously allowed by the generosity of the American people to be here. And by the way, I'd love to ask Rashida Tlaib, do you think that's true for everybody? Do you think that the Palestinians don't deserve to have a home? What if the Palestinians said, we can have our home again? Isn't that what their entire argument has been this whole time? That that was their home, that was their land back, all the rest of it? So which is it? You want to say that the Palestinian people deserve their own homeland, okay? But you say that the American people don't. Why don't
I mean, Jack makes some great points there. None of these people ever say, me as an American. Earlier in that clip, I didn't play it for you guys, but she said, as a Palestinian. That is what she said. She didn't say she was an American. None of them ever say that. They don't care about America. And I think Jack's right about that. Let's jump into the chat and welcome some more people. We have 374 in the chat. Please say hello, everybody. Let me know where you're from. And, Tammy from Sacramento, welcome. And we'll start bringing people up onto the stage. Zachary, you think men can get pregnant from Chris is missing. Donald Trump Jr., Donald dash Trump. The stupidest people are in blue states. All right. They aren't Americans. Soko 2678. Glenn Holmes 6198. Hi from North Carolina. I think you've joined me before. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. We've got Starlit Sky 4751. Hello, North Carolina here. Welcome. Glad you're here. And by the way, you guys, as we move forward, please, I would love to really grow this channel. So if you're getting value, please like and subscribe. And if you're so inclined, super chats would be great. But, like and subscribe. It's free. And let's keep going on the discussion. There's some key things that Jack is going to say in just a moment. And I'll bring everybody back and we'll start the chat again and have the crosstalk. Okay, here we go.
Don't the American people deserve their own homeland? Congresswoman, tell me that. Why don't the American people deserve their own homeland and deserve to determine who the people of that homeland is? Because, Steve, I'm just going to say it. If I want people in my homeland, if I want my kids to grow up among people who share our language, who share our culture, who share our values, then guess what? That's the same thing that people on this planet have wanted, the same right that people have had since time immemorial. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, there's everything right with that. That's the shared bond of nationalism.
Let's play. Can we play Omar? I got a short clip from Omar. I want you to respond to that, Jack.
Not the America we want. This is not the Minnesota we deserve, and we will fight back.
We will fight back. This is not the America we want. What say you, Jack Posobiec?
No, but listen, it's not even the words, it's the tone, right? For her, it's all the tone. She's so dejected. She's down in the dumps. She's barely even looking up. She's, her hijab's almost over the eyes there. She doesn't want to be there. Oh, it's Friday. Can I just stop doing this? She's lost. She knows she's totally lost. The American people have finally woken up to the Somali invasion of our hinterland, the Somali invasion of the American heartland. Minnesota Nice was completely jujitsu'd. All right, look, I'm an East Coaster. Steve, you're an East Coaster.
Yeah, so I'll tell you right now, some of the biggest problems I have with that, when she says this is not the America we want. Well, I think we can say with a lot of confidence that Ilhan Omar isn't really even an American. I mean, how did she get into government in the first place? And I don't think that is, I don't think that's blasphemous at all, because she did marry her brother, and that's kind of been proved. So how dare she come up to American people and say, this is not the America we want? Well, actually, if you ask a lot of us, we want our borders secure. We want anybody who's here illegally, especially criminals, especially violent criminals, deported back to their hometown, their place of origin or wherever they come from. Again, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Maybe that's what it is. And that is what we want. And she is dejected because I do think that we are winning. So anyway, I want to kind of start to bring some people up and say hello to the chat. Please let me know, everybody, where you're from, and let's say hello. Shame on, let's see, Kick and Granny. Shame on all of you, and kind of been proved. Okay. Yeah, so we've got some nasty people in the chat. I'm not surprised. Okay. Why Stanley Palek 1806? Why is Omar still here with all the shady stuff she's done? That's my point. I mean, like I said, I don't think it's anything that is not based in strong. I really fact. I mean, I actually think it's been proven that she married her brother. There's a lot of questions about Ilhan Omar, a lot of questions about it. At the very minimum, everybody would have to admit there's a lot of questions about that. And so, why has I think it's a good question, Stanley. Okay, yeah, no, I mean, so we just have no, I'm not a nasty lady at all. I'm actually going to put your comment up here into the on the stage. I'm not a nasty lady at all. I think that people have, I don't know why they struggle so much with essentially what is right and wrong. Um, Ilhan Omar is the daughter of the Somalian king's warlord general Agus o- Odin's Prism Omega. That's actually true. Her father was I think they really have them as clans in Somalia. Anyway, her father, they were not refugees. They were not refugees. They were actually kings in Somalia. And I don't know exactly what happened. And I want to, not accuse anybody of things that are not in fact, but there was they had to come to America for a reason. And so the whole refugee thing with Ilhan Omar was never true in the first place. So that is kind of just you're right. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Betty. Betty, you're a nasty person, and I'm going to get you out of here. Not in the mood. Bye. Bye, Felicia. Anyway, okay, so let's move on. I thought this was very, very important to take a look on the perspective of, the dog that's not barking. Renee Good, that story's kind of faded away. Now we've got the other stories that we saw this past week where we had the mob in Minneapolis break into that car and steal assault guns from the FBI. That person who did that was apprehended, and I believe he was a gang member, Latin Kings, or it might have been I always butcher that, but in any event, that person has been arrested and the story's moved on. And so with that, I'm going to move on to the next part of the story because like I said in the beginning of this live, there are some good things that are happening. People are doxing ICE agents but there has been consequences. Just like a lot of them who started to celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk, if you guys can all remember that, when basically the good and righteous American people who had problems with just the evilness of that fought back. And a lot of the people who had nasty things and celebrated Charlie Kirk's death lost their jobs. Well, we've got some news on that front here too. So let me get to that for you. Hey, Sean, you can leave. Bye. Okay. And still grateful 3217. No, I'm actually going to show you. We got a nasty lady on a podcast. I'm not a nasty lady. It is a podcast. You're right about that. Anyway, bye, Felicia. Good to see you. We're interested in intelligence, and you don't qualify. See ya. Anyway, all right, let's let it rip. So now this lady doxed Jonathan Ross. Jonathan Ross was the officer who shot and killed Renee Good, and we're going to go next to that. So let me go there. Share this tab instead. Here's what she originally did. I'll play this, and then we'll talk a little bit about the consequences.
This is a PSA. Jonathan Ross lives in my town, Chaska, Minnesota. There are 2 police squad cars sitting in front of his home. Earlier this morning, I passed just to see what kind of action was there. Saw the police officers there this morning. I did a U-turn by them, turned out, and then went to go do an errand. I came back because I wanted to ask if they were protecting him or if they're protecting the general public. And the police officers basically said, we're here to protect the community. He looked at me like I was some idiot, and, you know, it is what it is, but I don't really believe them. I think they're protecting him. I think he's hiding out in his house. And I'd love for everyone who doesn't like him circle around in his neighborhood.
Here's
I
where she
won't
doxes
say
them.
exactly what road, if it's Court or if it's Drive, you can figure that out. But I will just say that the numbers look a lot like a 1 and a 1, 2, 0.
Okay, so she doxes him. But guess what? Like I said, there is accountability. And guess what happened to this lady? Let me grab that for you. All right, we're going to share this instead. So here's the results of what she did. And I'm trying to make this bigger for everybody. Anyway, let's see if I can get this bigger. Yeah. So she doxed him. And her employer, East West Acupuncture, she's been fired. East West Acupuncture does not condone actions that promote harm, division, hostility in any form. We want to clarify the situation. The individual involved in the recent viral video is no longer employed. So there is justice, everybody. This isn't going the way they wanted it to go. This is vastly different from the George Floyd in 2020 and all that kind of thing. And it's just not going to go. Our cities are not going to be burn. It's not going to happen. And I'm somebody that lived in Chicago, or I live in Chicago still, and I witnessed it firsthand. You know, they were outside my door. I live in a condo in a high rise downtown, and I saw all of this stuff, windows being kicked in. It's not going to happen this time. I do agree or believe or expect at this point, I do think that Trump will invoke the Insurrection Act. I think he's preparing to do that. But there is some good news. And let's see how many we have in the chat, and welcome some crosstalk. Yeah, this was Sarah Larson. She no longer works at East West Acupuncture. So anyway, how is everybody doing? Your browser lost connection to share screen. Can you guys hear me? No, I think you can, right? Let me know. I'm feeling like I'm getting news that you can't hear me. Please let me know. We have 430 in the chat. Can someone verify this for me? New comments. Okay. Okay. Oh, good. You can hear me. Great. Okay, fine. Mary Ann Simeon, you are so out of touch and it will come to your door. I'm not out of touch at all, Mary Ann. I'm sorry. I don't know where you live, but I'm telling you, I've seen this. I live in one of the most radical blue cities in the country. I'm not out of touch at all. And I don't think it's playing out the way they want it to play out, or you'd be hearing a whole lot of different things. And so what they're doing is they are raging, and you are seeing not only, yeah, I've got more good news to share actually, because there are more consequences other than just this Sarah Larson who did lose her job. I'm not out of touch at all. And I've lived it. Marianne, out of curiosity, and again, we encourage discourse and things like that. Where do you live and why do you say that? I'd love to know. Let me get this out of here. Good. I'm glad she got fired. I wish Trump had already invoked the Insurrection Act. Melanie Millen, welcome to the chat. All right. Let's see. If you trust a Republican, you despise humanity the Mott way. Lives loved. This is so bad. That is so funny. You're making me laugh. Anyway, I'll pause before I go to the next good news story for everybody. If you're just joining, we have 445 in the chat. Please like, subscribe. If you're so inclined, support the channel. Super chats are great. I will prioritize you. But tell me where you're from, say hello, and let's keep everything rolling for everybody. Okay. So the next piece of good news is this wasn't the only person who felt the consequences and was held accountable for playing around with here we go. Let me share this instead. This was a teacher. Here we go.
Sponsorship from Wayfair.
I'll start it from the beginning.
Hi, my name is Isa Obradovich, and on Tuesday, January 13th, at around 11 in the morning, I was escorted out of my middle school art student teaching placement. I have a script that I'm going to be reading from because I want to be very careful with my words. On Tuesday, January 13th, at around 11 in the morning, I was escorted out of my middle school art student teaching placement. I was informed that the district received several complaints from concerned parents about the video I posted the day before. In the video, I spoke about turning down a sponsorship from Wayfair as they sell beds to, quote, a government contractor furnishing a federal detention center for migrants near the U.S.-Mexico border, end quote. In this video, I said, fuck ICE, and at the end of the video, I put up my middle finger while saying that I believe that ICE agents should kill. I could certainly have chosen my words better and avoided using vulgar language and gestures, but my stance remains firm. I stand on the side of humanity and will not endorse any institution who supports ICE. I have chosen to keep the video visible on my page. My values and actions are always rooted in a deep love for humanity, including love for my own community members as a first-generation child of French and Peruvian immigrants. Members of my community are actively being killed and kidnapped en masse by ICE.
I mean, first of all, these are just blatant lies. And let me ask you, chat, if all of this was, supposedly happening and this, Gestapo mentality from ICE was happening, where are all the videos? There was somebody that said it. I can't remember if it was Ilhan Omar. It was Amy Klobuchar. She's been tweeting all over Twitter or X, talking about how they're ripping people out of their homes and, they're going after, people of color. And this is just all so outrageous. And I keep tweeting back to Amy and I keep saying, lies, Amy. These are lies. Because guess what? If you had those videos and this was actually happening, this would be all over. You'd see it on MSNBC, which is what, MS or something now. You'd see it on CNN. You'd see it absolutely everywhere. And we're not seeing that. These are blatant lies. So this lady, I'll keep it going, but she was escorted out. And it was because parents at the school where she, as she just said, where she teaches, said, no, we're not having this. And anyway, we'll keep it rolling. But there's good news and there's accountability.
Paramilitary force that answers to the child rapist and 34-time felon who is currently president of the United States.
More lies.
I stand by my message, even if my choice of verbiage could have been more tactful. For full transparency, I've posted the email I sent to the district yesterday following my termination. Thankfully, I have the privilege of not needing to student teach in order to graduate. I have chosen to not pursue another student teaching placement since I figured similar issues would arise considering the size of my audience on social media. I don't want to comprise neither my values nor those of any school district. I will graduate without licensure, which I was not planning on applying for anyways because I don't intend to teach in the United States.
Okay, so we can sort of stop there because she's pretty boring anyway. Let me get back to the chat. And actually, good news, chat. I didn't realize that she actually had been fired. 514 in the chat. We're going to talk. We're going to welcome some conversation, and then I'll move on to the next thing because actually, because the left is losing and everybody who, anti-ICE, Antifa, all of this that we're seeing is really not working out, they are becoming more enraged. And it does move to a little bit more of, a serious tone. So anyway, okay. Yeah, we're getting you guys out of here. Because I just, like I said, I am interested in, okay, yeah, ban. Goodbye. I don't know. These maybe are bots and stuff like that, and the left is blueprinting the EU government. Yeah, that's what's happening. I don't disagree with that. Oh, damn. It looks like I stumbled and fell into a slimy pit of filthy fascists. The real Kyle Lamb. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, they all have the same look, Kyle. What's fascist about what we're saying? Why do you get so enraged? I'd actually love to interview one of you guys and have you on my channel and have a discussion of why do you get so angry about this? Where does the rage come and the anger come from? I'd love to hear it. And again, discourse, not just name calling. I know that's difficult for you guys, but that's what I would be interested in knowing. And I didn't welcome a real discussion. Hey, Tanya Bananas, welcome back. I don't know how to mute them. I've just got to get them out of here and ban them as they come up. And, my lives on Sundays are getting so big that I think I'm going to have to get some moderators. So I'll have to look into that. Paul Hornley 903, libtards are low IQ TDS sufferers. They really are. They don't know how to, all they really can do is just call names and commit crimes. They really can't do much else. Where are the reasonable, Democrats? I think the reasonable Democrats are MAGA. That's what they used to be. And anyway, so we're going to have a little bit more fun with the crosstalk. And Stefan Paparo 9166 beta males totally. I'll be on the mod staff. Oh, the great one. Welcome back. I would love to do that. I would love to have you. That would be wonderful. And we should probably talk. I've got to figure it out because it is getting pretty busy. Liberal Marvel 1220 subs. Well, I'm glad I have 1220. What do you have, Liberal? What have you been doing? I'd like to see you do something. Bet you nobody would watch your channel. That's what I think, because you probably don't have anything intelligent to say or of value to say, and I actually do. So have a nice day. Anyway, we'll keep this going. The reasonable Democrats are insane hiding because they are ashamed of what become of their party. Eva BF3NK, I actually think you're 100% right. I know, living in Chicago, I've got a lot of, friends that are on the left and have been on the left and stuff like that. And they're just very, very quiet because they don't like what they're seeing and they don't like where it's going. Oh, somebody just gave me a super chat and I want to get them. I want to say thank you. I'm trying to find you and put you up. Thank you so much for your super chat. And I said I would prioritize super chats, and I do need that moderator. Add Wayne Warren. Thank you so much. I don't know where your chat is or your comment is, but say it again and I'll get you on. I'm trying to learn how to work this. Anyway, let's keep going. No, there actually is a topic. We're going to move on. With that, we will move on. So I want to show now where it's going. So the next spot is there's more of this, and there are people that are actually getting in the way of ICE. They were able to stop a detainment in process. And so I'll start to share that with everybody right now. Okay. Let me get there. 1 second. I'll just, yeah. Okay. This is what I want to share. Let me do this. Okay, share. All right, this is the lady I want to. This is actually quite scary. So look at this.
For help, which of course for
watch.
It's January 17th, and I'm coming out of Minneapolis right now with 2 small wins today. One, Jacob Lang, the leader of this little pro-ICE rally in downtown Minneapolis. Didn't go so well for him today. Small numbers, they kept getting cornered in downtown, and then a very friendly Minnesotan gave him a nice super soaking, drenching him head to toe in water, including his little cotton gloves and cotton hat. For reference, it's 13 degrees here in Minneapolis today. He got so cold, he began asking Minnesotans for help, which of course they did not give him. Last I heard, the Minneapolis Police Department was pursuing him in his red Ford Dart somewhere in South Minneapolis. This leads me to my next small
Watch this.
Today in South Minneapolis at the Arco gas station on Lake Street, a convoy of 4 vehicles filled with ICE agents pulled up on a man man pumping gas, and arrested him, threw him in the back of one of the vehicles to abduct him when we got the call for this ICE sighting. Within minutes, we had 20 to 30 observers on foot and in vehicle, myself included. I posted a video on my page where we showed up and we overwhelmed these ICE agents so much that they let this detainee go. Now, my video does not include this detainee's face or his vehicle as a means to protect him further.
Right.
But it's working, you guys. It's working.
Yeah.
And I know that dozens of arrests are happening in the metro area every day, but
Okay, so she openly admits and is posting that this is beyond protesting. This is beyond aggressive and hostile protesting. She actually admits that they stopped obstruction of justice. They stopped a lawful action as it was going on. So it's really ramping up, and that's what's happening now. But I want to move next to, and I've got more examples of that, and we'll kind of keep it going for a little while, because I've got a lot of examples of these kind of people. I mean, this is just there's no shortage of it. But in a Reddit page, it's a group called let me grab it here. It's called Iron Front USA. And that was the group that Renee Good, who's deceased, belonged to. This was posted in the Reddit page of Iron Front USA. And this is Philadelphia District Attorney, I think his name is, I'm going to grab it, Larry Krasner, and listen to what he has to say. He's kind of doubling down on what they're saying in Minneapolis. So we've got, Antifa, we've got anti-ICE, we've got the left, the nose ring crew, all of those people, doing what they're doing. But we also have a whole slew of government officials that are also kind of getting in the way. And here's what he had to say, and I'll show you what else they have planned. Let's let this go.
Let me be clear. If any law enforcement agent, any ICE agent, is going to come to Philly to commit crimes, then you can get the F out of here. Because if you do that here, I will charge you with those crimes. You will be arrested. You will stand trial. You will be convicted, whether it's in state or federal court. It's my office prosecuting it. That's how the law works. And you will do your time because Donald Trump cannot pardon you for a state court conviction. Do you hear me, ICE agents? Do you hear me, National Guard? Do you hear me, military?
I mean, the hubris of these people actually believe that they're in the right. These people actually believe that, and by the way, they love to throw out the F bombs and things like that. And I have to tell YouTube, like when I do these live streams and things like that, because it's really not, we're trying not to swear here, but it's the Democrats. That's what they love to do. They love to swear. It's just ridiculous. So let's look. We're going to get some of these people out of here. Oh, you couldn't hear it? You know what? I can play it again. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try again because it was very, very low, and I'm going to try. I'll try again. Hold on. Let's let me just do this again for you. Here we go. I'll play the first few minutes.
Let me be clear. If any law enforcement agent, any ICE agent, is going to come to Philly to commit crimes, then you can get the F out of here. Because if you do that here, I will charge you with those crimes. You will be arrested. You will stand trial. You will be convicted, whether it's in state or federal court. It's my office prosecuting it. That's how the law works. And you will do your time.
I hope you could hear it that time. He goes on to basically say that goes for the military too. So I don't know where this guy gets off. Was that better for you? We've got 438 in the chat. Please like and subscribe, but do say hello and let me know where you're from. This Karen is a communist. That's just so funny. I'm totally not a communist. Anyway, nice to meet you. Again, if you can say something intelligent, you're certainly welcome to do that. But if you don't have anything nice to say and anything worth discourse, then you're just going to be kicked out because nobody has time for that. You're getting banned. See you. Bye. Tons of trolls today, guys. I'm not surprised. Okay, see you. Bye. I'm getting Tanya Bananas. Yeah, thank you. Seriously. I mean, you can't have a discussion with these people. It's an unbridgeable gap. People say, "Oh, we all want to come together." No, I don't want to come together with these people. I don't want to come together with people that will want open borders, do not believe in the rule of law, want men in women's sports. That's an unbridgeable gap. That's not something we can sort of work through and talk through. So, one way or the other, there's definitely a battle for this country. And, I don't know. I think I like our chances. That's just what I will say. Anyway, let's go. Okay, so that was Phil. Larry Krasner, the DA from Philadelphia, kind of, warning, stay the hell out of here, et cetera, et cetera. But I want to move on and start showing you other government officials that are actually also doxing ICE agents. It's not just the left, citizens. It's government officials. So let me grab that and you guys can crosstalk and we'll keep it going. Let me just I gotta do my production. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen while I do that. And okay, you guys can just crosstalk if you don't mind give me a second while I pull this up. Okay. Well, actually, here's what she was talking about. I'm going to share this screen. This was Jake Lang. This was the guy that now he's kind of controversial himself, if you ask me, but he was in a J6er. And this was what that Antifa lady was talking about. This is what they did to him. Yeah, look at this. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it is so crazy. Now, that was what she was talking about in the beginning of her video where she said, hey, it's 13 degrees and they, sprayed him with water and everything else. And, so that is what people are facing. This is what we're looking at. That is not peaceful protesting. Now, Jake Lang has some controversies in and of himself. But aside from that, he was a J6er. He was, I think, in solitary confinement for like 4 years. But this is what we're facing. This is not about discussions and peaceful protesting. It's just so very clear, isn't it? And so, rather swear than protect pedophiles. Keith McAllister, 2351. Welcome to the chat. Now, is my audio still messed up? Could you guys hear that? Dat, Fly, and Cat, let me know. There was something about my browser talking about the audio, but please confirm for me because I want to make sure that we're able to. Oh, good. Hi, Karen. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I'm trying to get to some of the cross chat. Kidnapping, assault, and attempted murder on Jake Lang. Strato. Thank you for your comment. Some people are saying, okay, audio is good. Okay, good. Now I'm hearing conflicting things. Anyway, while we're doing the cross chat, we have 372 in the chat. Let me know where you're from. Say hello. Okay, audio is good. Great. Okay. All these protesters are to cover up the 18 billion in fraud. Let's be honest here. Sandy Plaza 6628. Absolutely. And I played a clip earlier from the War Room with Steve Bannon talking exactly about that. They're like, look over here, because, and of course, we had late on Friday that the DOJ has opened up a criminal investigation into Waltz and into Jacob Frey, or Fry, I'm not sure what his name is, in Minneapolis. So there is starting to get accountability. You are starting to see that. And I think that, again, 2026, MAGA is getting what they voted for. Maybe 2025 had a little bit of turbulence and, stumbly start, if you will. But I really think everything is starting to come together. And, it's just, it's a good thing. Jamie McShane, a divide won't help America. Jamie McShammy, welcome to the chat. How are you? I know where you're from. Okay. Tampon Timmy Waltz for VP, haha, not. Paul Sals dash 05N. I gotta get a still not tired of winning. Optic Master, welcome. Hell yeah, Trump card, Diaz, baby. FML, the show. Hey, you know what? I have actually something I think Trump is talking about a Trump card. When he came out the other day about putting a 10% interest rate, asking all the credit card people, I saw in the news that he's thinking about doing his own Trump card. And so it'd be interesting to see that. I don't know if that's what you're referring to or not. But anyway, where in the ghetto is this? Theo Wink, WH8ST, welcome to the chat. I don't know where that was. Jake Lang, I think, might be in Pennsylvania. FML, the show. Yes. Was that what you were talking about? Yeah, I think it's great. I hope Trump does it. I'm really, really excited about that. I like that news coming out of that. You don't get to ignore Article 2 as a representative because the president doesn't fit your narrative. Tyrone Floyd, 7968. Welcome to the chat. His own Trump card, more fraud for suckers, 2026. I think it's okay to question or whatever, but my question to you is, if that card did come out and it offered 10% interest rate, would you not open one of those cards? I mean, again, a lot of times, liberals don't do a lot of things. They vote against their own interests. It's your own interest. Let me get to more of the chat, and then I've got a few more things that I want to play. Paul, identify as non-binary. I love it. I love it. Trump account for new babies, Miss Sean 9159. Yeah, that's another great thing that is. There's been a ton of great news that's been coming out lately, and of course, the media isn't covering it. They're not. But Trump account for new babies is a great thing. Also, I think it was late on Friday, they were talking about something with 401ks for mortgages. And, at its surface, I don't know the details of it. I don't know that they released the details of it, but, at least they're trying. They're trying different things, and they're trying to get home ownership for people. And they do want affordability and people to have the American dream. And you can't argue with that. Donald Trump, Donald-TR, Trump is absolutely awesome and the greatest American people's president. He actually is. I absolutely love him. I'd vote for him. I vote for him 3 times. I'd vote for him 4 times. 247 in the chat. We're going to welcome new comments, and please do. Oh, wow. We've got another super chat here. Thank you so much. Jennifer, thank you. Chat. That's what we're all witnessing now. I'm trying to get this on the screen. How do I do it? Ugh. Chat, that's what we're all witnessing now is subterfuge via Kansas City Shuffle. You make them look left while they actually go right. Jennifer, thank you so much for the super chat. And I am not sure how to get you up on the stage, but I want to recognize you and all the super chats. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And if you guys can't do super chat, that's great. I get it, but please like and subscribe. It's free. It helps me grow if you like the content. Exactly. As a protector, I would still protect the left if it was the right thing to do. Like their life was in danger, I would intercept it. It's a shame they don't know the truth. FML, the show. Thank you so much for your comment. Let me keep going. And there's some more things that the Democrats are planning on. So let me get to that while we keep this rolling. Confuse and conquer the liberal sheeple. Jays Baseball 74, welcome. Welcome. When did the line move to the defense of the pedophiles? Benson, welcome to the chat. Let me see. Lying for the demented clown in the White House, I will block you. I mean, I really don't care, Carol. Go right ahead. Have fun. See ya. See ya. Bye, Carol. I just don't care. I don't care. I'm going to get this up here. I'm getting some compliments. Fire show. Thank you. Optic Master. Thank you. I really try. Again, just everybody, just so you know, before I go to the next thing, here's what I do. I run my channel like I run my life. I work during the week. I do long forms during the week about corporate America, what I'm seeing there. I'm a 25-year-old Gen X tech worker, and I see all the nonsense that's going on with AI, H-1B visas, and everything like that. I try to offer value during the week about our work week. And then my idea was on Sundays to do these lives to say, hey, we've all been working during the week and we probably missed some important news that's under the radar. And I want to make sure we get a chance to discuss it and know about it and talk about it. And that's what I do live on Sundays. It's a news aggregate with some things that you may have missed. And I'm really glad that you are enjoying it. Okay, so I want to go to, let me do that while the chat is popping. All right, this is another thing that happened. I want to share this tab because the violence, here's what they did to a MAGA patriot wearing a freedom flag. Watch this. This guy's got American flag on. Look what they did to him. Make him take it off.
No, don't take it off. You're not going to take it off and you are hurt. Take it off.
Making him take it off.
Take it off. He gave you a chance. There you go. I got you. You're good. Get your ass up out of here. Drop it. Drop it. I gave you a chance. Good.
Now, I don't like to see that. I don't like to see that. I can understand why the guy did it. Obviously, that could turn like seriously, bad very quickly, but they made him, that's not a peaceful protest. They were putting they were touching him. They were, take it off, something like, we'll let you go or whatever. That is what the left is. And they call us fascists. Tell me, everybody, who's the fascist? Tell me. I want to know. And while everybody crosstalks, I want to share a little bit more. Here is something else that they are going to be doing. Now, this is January 23rd. This is their plan. Let me show this. Hold on. Got to get the...
So Friday, January 23rd, we're asking everybody to pause, to stop, to rest, to reflect, and to fast and pray and come collectively together to not spend any money. Every Minnesotan, no work, no school, no shopping, so that we can send a message to not just Minnesota, but to this nation. We want ICE out of here, and that there should be no investment in a militaristic force like ICE that comes in and terrorizes and oppresses the people in this state and all across this nation. So we're asking for a pause. We're asking people not to go to work. We're asking businesses to close that day. We'll gather here downtown at 2:00 to really reflect, come together.
Okay, so they're trying to do like a shutdown, a boycott. You remember when they tried to do that? Like there was like maybe it was around No King's Day or something. They wanted like no shopping or whatever. They're attempting this again. I don't know who this guy is. He looks like he's like a local politician or an activist or somebody like that in Minneapolis. That's what they are asking for. But let me ask you this: the oppression, who's being oppressed? Is it not the American citizens? The illegal aliens who are coming into our cities, many of which are have violent pasts, are from, I mean, Venezuela. They emptied their mental institutions and their prisons into the United States because of Joe Biden, and that's actually true. And anybody out there in the chat today, if you live in a blue city, I mean, like I do. I've seen it. And I could show you if I had my camera and I could show you guys, I would show you. I was sitting out on my balcony in my condo. I live in downtown Chicago, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I saw a group of illegal immigrants. And I know they were illegal because they had blankets over their head and they were wandering around and they didn't know where they were going. And they literally walked into my garage. I live in a high rise, like a six-story condo building in downtown Chicago, about 2 blocks from Pritzker, by the way, his home here in the Gold Coast. This is a nice neighborhood. So who's being oppressed? I'd like to know. What do you guys say before we go to the next clip? Who do you think is being oppressed? Tell me. Let's talk about it. New comments. Okay. Those in the chat. Oh, wait, this goes so fast. Those in the chat, when did the line move to defense of pedophiles? Ben, thanks for the, I like that a lot. Thank you. Venezuela did not do that, and you being grossed out by poor people doesn't make you oppressed. Audric Burris, 6946, you could not be more incorrect. Venezuela did do that. I'm not grossed out by poor people, but I shouldn't have strangers, anybody, whether they're illegal aliens or whatever they are, walking into my building. You never, ever, ever saw that before in the city of Chicago. I've lived here for 25 years in this neighborhood, and you've just absolutely never seen it. Audric Burris, where are you from? Because I can tell you as a witness to what is happening or what did happen under Joe Biden until Trump got in. Up and down Lakeshore Drive, one of the most famous drives in the world, we had tents, people living in tents in our beautiful city. It's just never seen anything like it before. So you're just wrong. And I would like to know where you come from, because unless you saw it firsthand, I mean, I lived it. You want to be the victim, but minorities have been a victim for 400 years. White people have never had to worry about anything. Let's be real, dumbass. Yeah, I mean, this is just absolutely, totally wrong. I think it's laughable that people would say something like that at this point after northern Wisconsin. Oh, awesome. Where? I love Wisconsin. I love Wisconsin. I order my cheese from there. Oh, okay. Monica, I'm from northern Wisconsin. We're neighbors. Oh, the great one. Oh, thank you for coming back. Good to see you again. I love Wisconsin. In fact, we used to go up north to Manitowish Waters. Really, really fun. Chris is missing. Ice, 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 ice. I love it. They have always been protected. That's how blackmail works. Dang. Clank 1973. Okay. Wait, I gotta figure this out. Okay, in Minnesota, they are going with no warrant, door to door knocking, and if you don't answer, they break down your door. U.S. citizens are living here in fear. Simple things amuse me. I actually have evidence or videos of people talking about to the contrary. North Wisconsin is hours away from Illinois. I know. 2026. I do know that. Thank you. I've been to northern Wisconsin many, many times. It's actually, we're across the border. So, thanks for the tip. Appreciate it. Democrats are truly the most stupid people on earth. Bill Clinton all over them files. Chris is missing. Okay. Some neighbors farther away than others stop being negative. Thank you, the great one. All right. So what time? We have to do a time check. It's 12:28. Guys, I think that we're going to do a little bit of a shorter live stream today. We've got the Bears game today, and before wrapping it up, I want to know what everybody. I don't know what I'm thinking about the Bears today. They beat Green Bay, the great one. I'm sure we probably a Green Bay fan, but anyway, thank you all for the super chats. Please do like and subscribe. We'll be back next Sunday with the live, and in the meantime, check out my channel for just other stuff about corporate America and different things that I'm seeing in the field. And I promise it's a little bit of a different day. I would have covered more, but we've got the Bears, and I've got a motor to get ready. I think the game's at 5:30. Thank you all for joining, and can't wait to see you all again. Have a great weekend and take care, and enjoy. If you have a day off tomorrow, enjoy your MLK day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.